welcome to Growth Channel. Today we have a special guest today with us, Ramon. Welcome, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for letting me come in.
No problem, brother. So, Ramon, we want to know a little bit more about who you are. Who is Ramon? Where does Ramon come from?
Well, first I want to tell you, I'm a man at peace, bro. I'm at peace.
I love that.
It took me a long time to find peace, man.
So, how old are you right now?
47.
47.
Yeah.
When you say you're at peace, what does that mean to you?
I would say it's a strong foundation with my family, bro. Yeah. Like, I've been with this girl for 4 years, bro, and we don't fight at all. At all, bro. So when I go to, I would say, the world, I feel free, bro. I have no resistance in my brain. Not only am I happy, I'm at peace, because when you go to the real world, bro, what happens is you're gonna get slapped in the face. But if you have a bad day, man, and you go home and you have a loving family, bro, it's like, I got everything I need in life. So that's real important to me, because today we're gonna have a couple things we're gonna talk about, which is my journey. But I want to first tell you why the journey is so good right now, and it's because what's in my head, man. I'm happy, bro. I'm at peace. I don't fight with my woman.
Right.
And I say that because I think if anyone is a gentleman or a young man, they're in a relationship where there's constant conflict in the home, then you got to go out to the real world and fight those demons too? No.
You don't need that.
So to me, man, like, having the foundations at home will, like, shoot you to the stars, bro. And that's like the what I want to portray today, man, is just finding peace as a man.
Right. You can't put a price on peace, man. It's a beautiful feeling. I know exactly where you're coming from, brother.
Yeah.
Tell us more about who you are. Are you Hispanic? Where's your family from? What are your roots?
So my parents are from Nayarit, Mexico.
Okay.
And I was first generation here. And I was raised just like every little Mexican kid. We didn't know English when we all spoke Spanish when we started. And I was raised in the Bay Area. So I lived there my whole life. Yeah, so I lived in a city called San Lorenzo.
No way.
So when I
didn't know that.
Yeah, so when I graduated high school, there was probably like 20 Mexicans, 3 blacks, and all white people. So I grew up like this middle class, like primarily white population, and it was the start of the journey, man.
Wow. Brother, have you visited Mexico before or no?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I went to Cancun. And so I remember one year the skies were blue. I mean, the oceans were blue, and the other time they were dark. But I remember that it was the hottest I've ever felt in my life, because it was like I've never seen degrees at 117. It said 117. I'll never forget that as a kid.
That's crazy.
It's trippy you're talking about that, 'cause I haven't talked about that in a long time.
Right.
Yeah, man. I was a kid, man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what are some things that mold you into becoming who you are today as a child? Is there anything in specific that you think that has made you who you are today? Maybe
Yeah,
your
yeah,
family
yeah.
values, any of that stuff?
Always, for me, is my dad, man. So, I think about these men that, like, you come from a Mexican family, right?
Right.
Like, these men that are 70, 80 years old, bro, they don't make them like that. No.
They don't. They really
They don't. So when I was a kid, the men on one side, the women on the other side, who got fed first? The men did. And that tradition, and then my mom would never raise her voice in front of my dad. Like, never, never, never. And including in my family. So when I started growing up and I started seeing conflicts in relationships, I didn't understand it. Because now thinking about it, I had a peaceful home too, man. My parents never fought. They never fought. So I'm like really tripping out right now. You telling me that, because like those men, man, those machismo men, or those men that they were the strongest men I've ever met in my life, bro. Like I really look up to that age, the baby boomer age, 60, like more like 70 to 80. Those are my uncles. I'm 47. Those are my uncles. Those are my aunts. Those guys were they were it was just a beautiful time on how they treated women, bro. And it was this natural wave of, it was fluid. There's, as we start growing up, we start hanging out with different cultures. As we start getting older, you see there's a lot of conflict sometimes in households. Like, oh, my parents are fighting. You're like, really? Not at my house. So, I just want to. I like their tradition. Like, I like the tradition of what I learned from my parents. I like that I'm always like the littlest things from when you have a lady with you. She always walks in front. I need to know who's behind her. So when she gets out of the car, she stays in the car until I get out first, and then I can walk her out. I walk her to her door every time. If any homeless person or guy comes, I start talking to him firm, like, "Hey, what do you need?" Because it's like my family in front of me. There's these little Mexican traditions that they can't take away from you, bro.
Right. We were born to protect. Men are supposed to
Right,
protect, right?
right.
It's interesting that you're talking about this, Ramon, because as you're talking, brother, see, I grew up in a household where I was raised by my grandpa. My grandpa had 10 children, bro. He always provided for all 10 children and the wife. The wife stayed home. My grandma always stayed home, bro. So I get your point and your perspective, bro. Sometimes I feel like I was born in the wrong generation.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have these values, bro. I like this type of music that my grandpa used to play, and I like listening to stuff like that. And
Yeah.
the values opening up the door, doing this stuff. You ever gone to the store, you open up the door for a woman, and they don't even say thank you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's just crazy to me, right?
Yeah.
But I get it, man. You can't really teach values unless you're raised in a household
Right.
like that.
Yeah. You don't know what you don't know.
Right, right. But things does change and things like that, but the values never do.
Right.
I think a lot of people are forgetting that, at the end of the day, a lot of those households, regardless of how they feel about it, right? They were raised tough, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't teach tough skin. Like, you can't teach it like that.
And you know what? It's crazy you say that because there's kids that were very disciplined. I wasn't. So anyone that's hearing me right today, there's people, my parents, like, I gave my parents a hard time, bro. Like, I wanted to dominate in the house since I was little. I felt like I was the boss. My parents had a hard time with me. And I wasn't the traditional little Mexican kid, but I always got what I want. Always. I had to have my parents reinforce that if I wanted something, they were, even if it was verbal communication, mama, ven. Tell her like a commercial, I want that. She's like, okay, sí, mijo, yo te lo compro. And boom, she gave me the satisfaction. But I always got my way. So people say sometimes that, you have to be disciplined. You got to discipline your kids and they're not going to come out right. Well, my parents did discipline me, but I'll tell you what, they took it easy on me because I was hard to deal with. But I still always get what I want, bro, because I get obsessed. Because my parents told me no, so I don't ever accept no. I never accept no. And so a lot of people, they say, I had a tough background. That's why. No, you start growing it into this obsession, bro. You have this obsession right now. I don't know what it is, bro. But everyone has this obsession where you're like, dude, like nothing is stopping me, bro.
Right.
And so whenever I wanted something as a kid, I always got what I want.
Now, it's interesting that you bring this up, right? Is that really what led you into bodybuilding, or what was it, Ramon?
No. So, I've had a 5 year bodybuilding background where I've been doing shows every single year. Every year I do shows. What got me into bodybuilding is I was going through a divorce and I had this one friend. We were the same age when we were 30 years old. We would drink a bunch of beer, right? And then I saw him going. I was like, "Hey man, let me go to your show." I went to his show.
He was a bodybuilder.
He was a good friend of mine for 10 years, but he went to go compete. And I never seen a man look like that in my life. And I was like, this is my homie. If he can do it, I can do it. So what I did is after his show, I sent him $300. I was like, hey man, you got to teach me this. And that's where it stands because I was going through. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be single. Like, I need to be like better on the market. I'm overweight. I wasn't. I was just like, honestly, I didn't feel like I was a catch. So I got obsessed, bro. And you know, in bodybuilding, if you want to get, here's this thing. I call it the 180-day rule. If you want to start something, you have to do it for 180 days, bro. If you want to
So
start a
we can get habit.
podcast, you have to do it for 180 days. If you want to lose weight, you have to do it for 180 days. If you want to start any business, you have to do it for 180 days, 6 months. Like every single day. Crazy. Unstoppable, bro. And then you can start adjusting because what I learned in bodybuilding, man, is after a month or two, people quit. You have to weigh your food every single day, man. And you know what? Oh, I make excuses. I don't make excuses, man. I got kicked out of my house when I went through a divorce. I had no kitchen. I had to eat 2 pounds of meat a day. I had a show coming in like 3 months, bro. My first show. And what happened is um, I never missed a day of meals, bro. I had no kitchen. I got kicked out of my house. I had to live in a hotel, and I always got my meals in. I always got my cardio in. I got everything. It was perfection, bro. How do you do that? You're all messed up in your head because is your feelings have nothing to do with fitness, bro.
Right.
It's an action sport. If you can just put your feelings to the side and keep in mind, there's no cheat meals. 0 grams of sugar, chicken, rice, vegetables, and red meat for 8 months, bro. That's it. But you know what's gonna happen? Your daughter's birthday is gonna happen. Chicken and rice, bro. You know what's gonna happen? Christmas, chicken and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was in March. My show was in March. Christmas, Thanksgiving, like birthdays, chicken and rice, bro. What does food have to do with with your fitness? Like, what does food have to do with Christmas? It's about being with your family, but people use that as an excuse.
Right.
And this is like if you really want to get this certain look, there's is like if you just do it with perfection, you'll get it in 6 to 8 months. Like whatever you want to look like. If you see this poster of some guy up there and you're like, you know what? I want to look like that. It's not impossible because I do it every single year. And I was chubby my whole life.
So you
And
made it into a lifestyle.
it's a lifestyle, so I still weigh my food. Yeah, so I kind of veered off why I did it. I saw someone else do it that I knew that I knew we were like we were the same here, bro. He was 42 at the time. I was 42 at the same time.
Were you guys all both going through like a similar story?
N- um,
It usually happens.
no. I just I saw him as a peer, bro. I didn't look him at like now. I look at him as a mentor. The guy that taught me how to eat, not to work out, not to do cardio, not the guy that taught me how to eat, bro. He changed my life because everyone wants to talk about fitness. I go to the gym 7 days a week. Did you weigh your meals today? Oh, I didn't do that. You don't really want it.
You're missing the most important part.
Because, dude, if you want to get optimal performance, it's with the food. Hands down. You got to learn to be an expert at the food. Do you know how to work out, bro? Yes. You just did a triathlon, right?
No, I'm doing I'm training for a
You're
marathon.
preparing for a marathon. Cool. But did you weigh your food every single day for the past 180 days? Every single day for the past 1 month? Every single day for the past 7 days? So let's create these mini habits where you can just do one meal a day. Can you do one meal prep a day? Because if you can do that and you do that for 7 days, at the end of the week, you'll have 7 meals. Then next week, we'll go up to 2 meals. So what is your goal for the next week? 14.
Right.
So I focus on numbers. I don't focus on feeling, bro. Because how was I able to do a bodybuilding competition and I had no kitchen and I still got my meals in and it was other than my mom passing away, it was the worst experience I've ever had in my life right here, bro. Because you wake up at 4 in the morning, you're going through a divorce, and you're just like going, bro, going. and I still got in the best shape of my life.
Right.
So when I hear like, and I didn't want to come at this angle, but you're right, you brought something out of me, man. Like people make excuses on why they don't hit their fitness goals. Because I do it every single year and I'm unstoppable, bro. And I get better every time. And I'm 47. How do I get better every year? Because I don't make excuses and I just follow the path.
Interesting. Interesting. Thank you for sharing that, brother.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Let me ask you this. When is that moment in your life that you have felt that you were at your lowest in your life, or where you feel like, damn, this is going to shit?
Yeah.
Like, you ever had a moment where you were like in that hole
Mm-hmm.
where you're like, I'm never gonna get out of this, and you still came up?
It's gonna be when I went through a divorce, man. I would I wouldn't smile. I wasn't at peace. I was like, and when my mom died, it was almost like when someone passes away in your life, you can move on, bro. I don't know. I just like I had so much closure with my mom passing away because I was there the day she died. Like when she was gone, like that second she ran out of breath, I was there, man. I have peace with it.
And you knew you did everything right. You did
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
That's exactly why you had a closure. Because, brother, when you lose someone and you know you did everything that you were able to do for that person, you'll be okay. You'll be at peace. But I know when you go through a divorce, or that's a different source of losing somebody, right? And you know the person's still alive. It's kind of like there isn't any closure yet. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. For me, what I realized in an unhealthy relationship is just like you guys cannot fight. Like you have to talk. It has to be very calm. Like in a scenario right now with the significant other that I have right now, we don't fight. So what happened is it perfect? No. But if she will tell me, I need a couple minutes. And that's what a fight is for us. I walk away, I give her space. If I said something or I said something that hurt her feelings and I didn't realize I did it, it doesn't matter. Just say you hurt a woman's feelings, right? It doesn't matter that whether she was right or wrong, bro. What matters is her feelings are bothered. Can I step out of my ego for 1 second from and just focus on that? You know what? Even if I'm right, can I just focus on her emotions? Because this is a woman, bro. Like women, it's not like oh emotions for a woman, bro. It's hormones, bro. It's their hormones. And I'm gonna stray a little bit. I always give a woman a benefit of the doubt, bro. Because it's a funny scenario, but I'm gonna tell you this is the way I look at it. So I had this kitten, bro. I had this kitten, and it was a small cat, and it went in heat. And when this kitten went in heat, she'd go, she'd like tense up, bro. She'd be in heat for a week, and then she was back to normal. And what it is, it's that female trait, that female hormone. So when a woman she is emotional like that, bro. So sometimes, like, who cares if who's right and wrong? Go tend to that woman you love, bro, and put your guard down and say, and you know what you said. I'm sorry for coming at you like that. I didn't mean to raise my voice. I didn't mean to come at you the way and squash it, bro, because you're the man. And if she needs more time, you give her more time. But when you start going like this, bro, battling with a woman, it's over, bro.
Right.
You lost because you didn't control your temper, not the woman. You lost because you didn't control the situation. I feel like every situation that I'm in with my woman, I control that, bro. Because what I did is I laid out a platform in my life right now, bro, where I said, you know what? I do not want you to work. I want you just to focus on being. So my kids are old. I just want you to focus on being a good woman at the house, taking care of these necessities that need to be a part of the house, and taking care of the well, the love I have for my animals. Like my children are adults. They're out of the house. I love my animals in the house, bro.
How many children you got?
I got two. I got a 21-year-old in college, and I got a 17-year-old.
How is that father life?
It's distant. Me growing up, if anyone's listening that's in their 40s and they have children, they're adults, what ends up happening is your kids grow up. But you know what? I was that dad that went every 2 weeks to go visit one kid in Oakland, which is 4 hours, 4.5 hours there, 5.5 hours back. And my son in Fresno, 2 hours there, 2 hours back for the past 14 years. I just go see my kids, whether they want to see me or not. I don't care. That's my responsibility as a man. So I just go, I visited them and visit them and visit them and visit them. And I would say 80% of the time, like to say for like my daughter, she didn't want to see me. But I didn't care. I'm a machine, bro. I just kept visiting these kids. And then, look, they're never going to say, oh, my dad wasn't a part of my life. Yeah. So, that's one chapter of my life I don't talk about too much. I raised kids, bro, from adults to adults.
Yeah. Takes a lot of discipline.
Discipline, man. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's interesting. So, can you tell us we could close off a little bit on the bodybuilding, right? Because I know that's what. Just so you know, bro, you inspired me when I started my journey on working out. You really changed my perspective on how I looked at a man. Because you said to me, I remember we were on the phone. We were doing insurance, remember? And we were on the phone, and I asked you, hey, bro, like, how can I lose body fat? And you sent me a picture. You sent me a picture that said 6 to 7% body fat, all the way to it was like 6 different guys, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I send that to every person that talks about wanting to get in shape. I say, where are you at and where do you want to be?
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember I was a 26 point something at the time. I think it was 26.3 of body fat. And I felt like shit, bro.
Yeah.
But see, you made that switch in my mind where I was like, you know what? I need to get my ass to work out. I need to get better. Because I got it on me.
Right.
And I'm not going to lie. I said, if Ramon could do it, I could do it too.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, that's how you do it.
And it's one of those things that tricked me to believe, okay, I could do more. If another human, and now it's not about you, right? I'm saying in general.
Yes.
If another fucking human being could do it, I could do it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that changed me, bro. Like, that's why you see me running and training and now doing what I'm doing, right? And I'm not nowhere near where I want to be yet. I'm not a 5 to 7% body fat right now.
Yeah.
But see, can you talk about why you do that? Is that like with intention to change people's life? Or why did you do that to me?
Originally,
in general, to everybody.
Yeah, well, in general, check this out. So, because this transformation was when I was going through divorce, so as a Mexican kid and as a Mexican adult, I noticed Mexican guys are very passive. So, how many of those little Mexican kids are like 13 years old, like girls, and they're scared to talk to girls? They're so passive. So my goal was, to have someone, if they're going through any kind of for me, it's like, hey man, like if you want to attract, I just really feel like if you want to attract the ideal woman, getting in great shape, bro. Great shape. Not no, I'm talking about this guy looks elite. How does he do that? It's sure going to give you a better chance on getting, at least physically and what you're looking at, a better chance of getting that than not getting it. Because whenever I walk into a room, like that guy's jacked or he's in great shape. Like there's you don't even have to open your mouth. So I wanted to give that power to someone that's either going through a divorce or a kid that's when I was a kid, I hated when I was 15 and I had like pecho, like I had like breasts like a woman, like just pointy. You know, I hated that. They gave me titty twisters. I hated that when I was a kid. It bothered me, bro. It bothered me, right? So and when they would grab my stomach, oh, that bothered me. And so anyone that wants to like it was almost like to chase your dream woman. That's like kind of the original reason I wanted to do it. I wanted to help that Mexican guy that's either 20 or 30 or 40 years old change the way he looks because you will look like a different human.
Right.
I will change. Like my coach told me, he goes, man, I'm gonna have you look like a GQ model by the time I'm done. I was like, yeah, man, cool. I didn't believe him, man. I'm like, no, that don't happen to people like me. I'm chubby, man. Just my genetics. I'm Mexican, you know. No, no.
So about that, right? Let's talk about habits.
Yeah.
Because everybody talks about the success. They see you up in stage. They do all this stuff, right? But let's be honest. I know it comes down to nutrition and stuff like that. But what are some habits that helped you as a person to get there?
Yeah.
It didn't have to just be food. I get it. Yes, that's a big part. But what did you have to do when it comes to habits? What did you have to sacrifice in order for you to get to that different level? Because at one point you were chunky. I seen your videos, I seen your post, and you were drinking beer.
Yeah.
I'm sure you had to let go of that. You had to let go of certain things. Can you go deep into that?
Yeah. You know what happened is I had to face the what's actually the reason that's stopping me, bro. And I had to realize that if I don't master the food, I'm not going to get where I need to get. It is 99% food. It's not working out. If I said, Jose, can you walk 2 days a week this week? Like for 15 minutes? Right? Yeah. And then do it next week? Yeah. Easy task, right? I said, can you walk 5 days this week? Yeah, I can do that. You'll probably be able to pull it off. Hey man, can you go to the gym 3 days this week? Yeah, I can do that. But if I said, hey man, can you weigh your meals 7 days a week and just eat one meal prep a day? 99% of the people will not weigh their food at least 1 or 2 days. If you don't understand that fitness is food because of performance and, like carbohydrates, and if you're trying to retain muscle, like you don't understand that that's everything. Anyone that wants to hit their fitness goals, it's food. And until you get that into your brain, you will never get the results you want. If you're talking, even whether it's a strongman, whether it's a CrossFit guy, whether it's a bodybuilder, you got to master the food like a master. You have to know, like for me, bodybuilders, the difference between a bodybuilder and a CrossFit guy and a strongman is we know exactly how many carbohydrates, protein, and fats we have every single day, including our calorie intake. Every single day, I can look at a plate and I know how much calories it is. Like I don't care. You tell me what you had today, yesterday. I can add up the numbers and the calories. I know right here, man.
Like a blueprint, man. It's like if you're doing construction,
It's
if you're
just
doing
numbers, man.
yeah, yeah.
You
It's
have
numbers. You see it.
you
Yeah.
have to. So once you understand, I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're doing triathlons, if you are working out 6, 7 days a week, if you're running, if you're walking. If you don't get your food down, you'll never hit your goal. Because how someone like me that's been working out since I was 15 gets a six pack when I was 42? That makes no sense. Because all I did is master the food. That's all it is. Food, 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 food. Can you discipline yourself and not eat anything besides? So when you're training someone, you have a list of food. There's a list of things you can eat. Can you just eat that that's on the paper, please? Please, just eat that. Well, when do I have a cheat meal? Where do I see cheat meal on my paper? There's no cheat meals on this because you say you want results, and I'd be lying to you if I said there's cheat meals. That's how bodybuilders work. Can you have outside meals and things like that? Yeah, you can. But you know what? Do you want results or not? Because I'm going to tell you what the best results are. And you know what happens is I have to wing people off cheat meals little by little. I'll wing them off about 2 months if they can even hang for 2 months. But they can have their outside meals.
Why do you think people quit? Did you quit at one point? Be honest.
What's that?
at the beginning when you start
Oh, it
working?
took me about a year to screw up before I followed the plan. Yeah.
What did you do to screw up?
Had outside meals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Ye-
it's more expensive to be eating out than to
yeah.
actually cooking, right?
It's just following the plan.
See, that's one thing that people don't understand. If you cook at home, it's a lot more affordable
Yeah.
than eating out.
Yeah.
Like that's insane to me.
You know how I know someone's a bodybuilder? If I ask them the different cuts of meat. Like, if they know their steaks and chickens, like, do they know? Like, when someone knows how much it is per pound right now at Walmart for chicken breast, how much ground beef is, how much of the 93.7 is, how much is the 80/20. Like, when people know the pricing on meat, I know they weigh their food.
Numbers.
Yep. Yeah, right? So right now, chicken breast is like $2.59, $2.69 a pound. So if you've been meal prepping, you know that it used to, like a year ago or a year or two ago, it was $1.99 a pound.
It went up.
Yep. Just like eggs. Eggs used to be $7 for a 60, no, $9 for a 60 pack. Now it's $37.
Do you consume any eggs?
No, I just do meat.
Just meat.
Yeah, so I do eggs. See,
What's your plan that's working for you right now? What do you eat on a daily basis?
I eat 2 pounds of meat a day. Do I want to promote that? No. But you know what? What happens is, and the reason I'm saying that is because you can start, people are not eating enough protein. When you don't eat enough protein, what else do you eat? Carbs and fats. So you load on the carbs and fat. You want to load on the protein. This is my opinion. Like, there's going to be so many other people saying, well, you can't eat too much meat and this and that. I'm telling you what worked for me.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out how to eat, so if you know that there's 16 ounces in a pound, how can you figure out to get to 1 pound a day consistently for 7 days? So if you weigh out 6 ounces of meat, that's going to be 40 grams. Okay. So if you do that twice, so if you do 2 meals, that 40, now I'm at 80. And can you have a protein shake? Can you have 2 protein shakes and now be at 180 and you're a 180-pound man? Yeah, but come on, man. Why are you having supplements when you don't have to supplement? We can actually have food. No supplementation.
So you don't take supplements right now?
No supplementation when it comes to food, bro. No. Eat the meat. Oh, I have, 2 protein shakes a day that gives 100 grams. How about you eat an additional 6, 12, an additional 12 to 18 ounces of meat? When's the best time to eat? As soon as you wake up. When's the best time to not? When should you stop eating? An hour before you go to bed. Why is that? People say you're not supposed to eat at night because it's consumption, digestion, hunger. Consumption, digestion, hunger. Consumption, digestion, hunger. What happens is you eat, you digest the food, and then you get hungry. When you eat a big meal, McDonald's or something like that, what happens? You consume, but it takes 4 to 7 hours to digest. And then you get hungry like 6 hours later. When you eat like chicken and rice, you're hungry an hour and a half. So that's how do I get so many meals in? Because look, when I start eating, I get hungry. So, and my hunger creates every hour and a half, every 2 hours. So I literally have to fast till about 1 or 2 during the day because I'll finish 5 before 12. Because I'm always getting hungry, always getting hungry. And I don't want to be hungry before I go to bed.
Right.
You don't want to go hungry on an empty stomach. I don't fast because health reasons. I do it because I know once I start eating, I'm going to turn into this eating monster. Because the food that I eat is not calorie dense. Yeah. So how do you get 5 meals in a day? Well, you got to eat low calorie food. So when they see 6 ounces of meat and 180 grams of rice, which is a total of 50 grams of rice, like wait, I'm gonna eat 5 of these? That's a lot of food. It's actually only 2,500 calories. You have 4 crumbles. That's like 2,300 calories. So why happens? Have you ever ate 4 crumbles before?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I don't have to eat for like 6 hours.
Right.
Yeah. The thing is, man, is if you don't master the food, you won't get there. You'll be this guy like me I've been going to the gym since I was a kid, 15 years old. And I just always had that little extra panza. Just a little bit. Like I got close, but never got like 6-pack. So you just
When did you get your six pack?
42.
At 42. So you're saying you were going to the gym since you were 15
Mhm.
and you didn't get a six pack until you were 42.
42.
That's until you mastered food.
Master the food.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know what? I don't never talk about the gym. I never talk about fitness. I just talk about food. I can't help it, man, because I know it's right.
Right.
But do you know what the most important thing in getting an elite body? It's the gym. But
How's
okay,
that? How is that?
because the way you build a body is through the way you work out. Yeah, so the more time under tension you put on the muscle, the more you just like, if you think about it, if you are straining a muscle and you're doing a bicep curl, right? If you do it for 40 seconds compared to 10 seconds, you're going to get more blood flow. You're going to pump that muscle more, right? But what happens is, people don't want to, they get to this certain level of working out, but once it starts getting uncomfortable, they slow down. Like you have, like, that burning feeling, that nasty feeling, that uncomfortable feeling. People don't want to go there. So here's an example. Right now, like, I don't know what do you hit the gym? Do you do like in your workouts right now? Are you currently doing resistance training? Are you hitting the weights?
Yeah.
Watch this. You can say to everyone, you need to go heavier. Bro. You need to scare yourself. I'm not asking you to do sets of 3. I need you to scare yourself at a set of 8 to 10. You need to go heavier. You're not going heavy enough. Do you see how I can say that to anyone?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you to step it up, bro. Go heavier. That weight that you used to do, that's enough of that, bro.
That's if they want to be bodybuilders, right?
No. This is
Or
if
they
you
just want to build.
this is even if you go to the gym 3 days a week, you need to go heavier because you have to push yourself, bro. I only push myself 3 to 4 days a week at the gym. When you go to the gym, you go there to make your muscles scared.
But you do cardio, right?
Yes,
Because I know
cardio.
you're big on the Stairmaster.
Yes.
You know what? The Stairmaster, bro. How long do you stay in there? Because you got me into doing 30
Yeah.
minutes a day.
So
bro.
it's a trip that you say that. I have a different perspective in fitness since I spoke to you last time.
Okay.
So now I don't want people to do the Stairmaster. I want them to walk on the treadmill. What incline do you put at? 0. Wait, what? I don't want you to walk like you're walking your daughter to school. What? How? Because I've been walking 5 days a week minimum, slow, for 45 minutes for the past 5 years. You can't touch me. Consistently, 5 to 6 days a week, 45 minutes for the past 5 years. And I can get in any shape that I want. Does whether I'm bulking or whether I'm cutting, does the speed change? Does the intensity change? No. It's the same walking. My cardio does not change. I do what's called low intensity cardio. So now what happens is I don't want if food is energy, right? And I'm gonna have to put my energy into cardio or the gym. I don't want to put that energy into the cardio. I want it all performance to build muscle. So that's why we believe in low intensity cardio. So when I do cardio, it's like a slug, bro. Slow motion. I just do it 45 minutes minimum for the past 5 years, 5 days a week.
It's a marathon.
It doesn't change.
It's a marathon for you.
So that's why the food is so important because that changes all the time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Last question, and I know this different sport, right?
Yeah.
What's the longest you ever run for?
Running, I don't know, but walking, 2 hours.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying because running is when I was a kid, I played soccer my whole life. I don't know how long I've ever done that, but that is not in my protocol.
Right. It's a different sport. Right?
It's a different sport, right? So, for example, I met this gentleman the other day. He said his protocol is 2 weeks he does resistance training, and 2 weeks he does functional training like CrossFit. I thought that was pretty neat. Different. The way I've been working out is like a traditional person that goes to the gym, but here's another thing.
But that's what's been working for you, right? So right now
Right, right,
you're
right.
sharing to us. See, that's why we bring people who are specialized in areas like
Yeah.
this. Like you just brought the best out of you
Hmm.
on what you're good at, what has worked for you,
Yeah.
right? Now, enough about fitness, right?
Mhm.
Now, what are some visions that you have? Like, where is Ramon going within the next 5 to 10 years? What's your life vision, brother?
Yeah.
Is there something in a specific you want to talk about on where you
Yeah.
are right now and where you're going?
Yeah, there is. But before we do that, I want to tell the audience this is can you if you guys are struggling with your fitness goals, this is the easiest thing you can do to get your goals. Can you just walk? Just walk. Just walk 3 days a week for 30 minutes. And if you can do that, I have it. It's called a non-negotiable. Like I'm gonna walk for 30 minutes. I don't care. Just gonna walk for 30 minutes. I'm not gonna count my steps. I'm just gonna walk. And can you do that? When I have people that are obese, I was like, can you walk 15 minutes for 2 days this week? But commit. And you know what ends up happening the next week? Like, you know what? I think I'll go to 35. You do 35. And you know what, next week? I'm going to do it in 4 days. And end up you do it in 5 days. And then once you get to 5 days, then like, you know what? I'm going to go up to 45. There's something about this. Like when I walk for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, I don't feel like there's enough. This is my personal opinion. Something about that 45-minute sweet spot for me. Just walk for 45 minutes, 4 to 5 days a week. I just been doing 5 minimum. If you guys can figure out how to walk, you guys will have a better chance of getting into your fitness journey than if you didn't. Because obviously, most of you guys probably go to the gym anyways. But can you just focus on the walking before you start working, before you focus on the food? And that's all I just wanted to say because people are hearing, oh, I got to eat 2 pounds of meat. I got to do this. No, can you just, there's different levels in fitness. Can we just focus? So you got the gym part down. Cool. Could we just focus on the walking and then we can work on the food? Because I'd really appreciate it because I don't want people to think that like, damn, I can't do all that. Just, one step at a time, man. So, but I do want to move forward on what's my biggest journey. So, something about me is I've been in sales for 25 years and I specialize in door knocking. So I've been going to people's houses since I was a kid, 19 years old. My vision right now is so I run a medical sales team. We have about 9 sales reps, mostly consistently of nurses, and the other ones are marketers for home health and hospice agencies. My goal, my vision in the next, see, I don't like that. I need to be,
What are you working with right now?
yeah.
And where you're going with what you're working right now?
You know what I just realized? I need to commit right now.
Commit right now.
I need to
Give us
commit
that
right now.
commitment. Do
Okay.
it in front of the
Right.
audience.
My goal by the end of the year is to have 100 people on a Zoom call and all medical staff and just running and gunning towards the goal that we need to get to. What I do is I make sure I love doing Zoom calls as many as I can every single week because one thing that I learned about business, especially from PHP, is recruiting. So I am a headhunter. I'm looking for people to work with me on the same cause. As long as we have a similar background, I'm looking for specific people to work with because financially, I'm going to change their life. Whatever people are making in 1 year, as someone that's in healthcare, I will show them how to do that in 1 month. And they can do this part time. So I'm always recruiting, always recruiting. I'm looking for people. So my goal is, I have this vision, man. I guess we'll close right here. I have this vision. I have this vision of speaking in front of thousands of people, whether it's on a stage, whether it's on a Zoom call. So that's why one thing I like about the lights, like people, we have lights on us. People don't know how to perform in their lights. You got to be comfortable,
Yeah,
in the lights, right? That's why I did bodybuilding. I like the stage lights. I like feeling the uncomfortableness. Speaking on Zooms, doing presentations in front of people. I do auditions every single week. Like I'm preparing myself for something so big right now, and now I have the vehicle to do it, which is medical sales. I love it. I love it. It impacts the community. It changes a lot of lives, and what I get to do is I get to help my favorite. So I have a niche. My niche is seniors. I specialize in helping seniors accomplish their goals, bro. You know, my seniors have a problem, and I'm there to fix it. And so I've been working with seniors for 10 years. So that's my goal, man. To have 100 people by December on my Zoom call, me talking about my business. That's my goal. Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it, man.
Brother, thank you so much for the
Thank you,
value
man.
you brought today.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you,
Thank you
man.
again.
Thank you, brother.
For the audience, thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and share. God bless you guys and take care.